right now as local law enforcement investigates its first homicide of the year. We'll tell you what we've learned about the victim.
And a troubled intersection continues to be a problem in Iowa County, the site of dozens of crashes, including 4 in just an hour yesterday.
Plus, a longtime Wisconsin representative says he will be resigning from his position next month. The reason behind the decision, straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us. We are following a developing story out of Fitchburg where police are investigating that city's first homicide of the year.
Officers say they do not believe it was a random act, but other information from the department has been sparse so far. News 3 Now has confirmed through a family member the victim is 17-year-old Shay Watson. He was a Verona High School student.
Our Rose Schmidt has been at the scene of the homicide all day, and she joins us now with the very latest information. Rose?
Yes, there is still crime scene tape around this home on Lyman Lane, and officers on scene here 21 hours after someone called 911 and reported finding Watson. But at a news conference, police would not confirm to us the victim's identity or tell us the reason he was killed. We do know that they have not made any arrests at this time. Fitchburg police were first called to this neighborhood just after 9 o'clock last night and say they expect to be here into this evening. The police chief says investigators are combing through every lead, but would not tell me whether they have any suspects. They're looking into providing extra patrols to the Tower Hill neighborhood, but want people to know this was not a random act and they don't believe there's any immediate danger to the public. Police are also asking neighbors to provide surveillance video if they have any.
If anyone has information, we believe that they do, we strongly encourage them to contact us so that we can continue this investigation and ideally hold those responsible accountable for this case.
The Verona High School principal sent a letter home to families today sharing the news of the death of one of their students so that families could monitor their students' emotional well-being in the event that they knew the student. The principal also says counselors are available to provide any support that is needed. Police tell us that an extensive autopsy has finished, but they couldn't tell us when they will be providing details about that autopsy. And again, we want to stress that police say there is no immediate danger to the public, but they won't tell us why they believe that, and they're also not sharing with us any information that they might have about who they think the killer might be. Back to you.
All right, Rose, thanks. Well, a family member confirmed Watson's identity. Understandably, they're not ready to speak tonight.
But we are learning more about who Watson was. Madeline O'Neill is here with what we know.
Charlotte and Eric, we know Shay Watson was a Verona High School student but had gone to West High School before that. He played football there and at Verona High School, although he wasn't listed on this year's roster. He was spoken about at a Madison Metropolitan School District back-to-school event for teachers today. Despite transferring to Verona, one MMSD staff member is still referring to him as one of theirs, whose death has a large impact on students and teachers alike.
This is real, y'all. We have kids right now that will not be in school until next week. They're hurting. They're on social media. People are numb. So, like, I needed to speak his name, Shay Watson, because we have kids that are impacted by stuff every day.
Verona High School is letting families know that a student died last night, but haven't confirmed it was Watson. The Dane County medical examiner, again, has not officially identified the victim, but police said the autopsy was completed this morning. Now we're working to learn more about Watson's life. We'll have more on that at 10 tonight.
Maddie, thank you.
You're welcome.
And as we mentioned, this is still a developing story. Be sure to stay with News 3 Now as we learn more about the victim and hear more from police. We will have an update tonight on News 3 Now at 10, and as always, at Channel3000.com.
To weather now, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has our first alert forecast. Gary?
Well, Charlotte, it was a gloomy day today. We had some showers. It's been cloudy. There's also been some areas of fog. You can see on visible cloud track, the clouds pretty much socked in across the entire state. But the first batch of rain has kind of shifted to eastern Wisconsin. Another batch of showers coming in from the west, approaching the La Crosse area. Right now, we're kind of in between those two areas. Temperatures are in the upper 60s to the lower 70s thanks to the cloud cover. Dew point temperatures are still pretty high, especially over southeastern Wisconsin. And that's leading to areas of fog. Visibility about 2 miles in Monroe and 3 miles in Madison. Temperatures will only fall into the lower 60s by early tomorrow morning as the showers come to an end, and we'll see some areas of fog overnight. But tomorrow will turn sunny, breezy, and not as cool with a high of 75. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. The Dodge County Sheriff's Department asking for help finding an inmate who did not return to jail following a pre-approved work release. 39-year-old Michael Gleasing currently has an active arrest warrant. His last known address on South Cherrywood Lane in Watertown. He is serving a 270-day sentence with Huber privileges for theft with intent to defraud. If you're planning to use the interstate this week, you may want to watch your speed. The State Patrol says it'll be conducting aerial and ground-based speed enforcement in Dane County tomorrow. Officers say they'll be looking for speeding, tailgating, and other dangerous driving behaviors.
An Iowa County intersection has seen dozens of crashes since construction started on US 151. Yesterday, there were 4 crashes in just 1 hour. Our Amanda Quintana has been looking into the dangers of this intersection and joins us with more.
We first told you about the dangers of this intersection about a month ago. DOT said since construction started on 151 East, there had been about 5 crashes at this intersection here. Now that number is up to about 25. Yesterday, the Iowa County Sheriff's Office announced that there were 4 crashes here in just about an hour. The sheriff says even though there are signs telling people to go the recommended detour, apps like Google Maps are sending them this way through County Highway YZ.
Google Maps, the electronic mapping services, are sending people in those into that intersection, and we would rather that not happen, but we unfortunately don't have control over Google Maps or other entities like that. We're hoping we can get some help.
The issue is that drivers heading towards Madison are not using the posted recommended detour through downtown Dodgeville on Wisconsin 23. That loops you around to get back onto 151. Instead, they're using County Road YZ as a shortcut, but it's proving to be dangerous. When we first looked into this issue about a month ago, DOT said they were talking to local officials to try to figure out if there was any change they could make to make this better as construction continues. But besides that big sign, there isn't any change to the intersection right now. In Dodgeville, Amanda Quintana, News 3 Now.
DOT says they recently looked into making YZ a right turn only or adding stop signs to US 151, but believe both options would increase safety risks.
Wisconsin U.S. Senator Ron Johnson says the Russian government has denied him a visa to visit the country as part of a congressional delegation. Senator Johnson issued a news release this afternoon. Now he serves as the chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee's subcommittee on Europe and regional security cooperation. The release doesn't say when he had planned to visit Russia, who else is on that delegation, or why he was denied a visa. Republican Congressman Sean Duffy, who represents northern Wisconsin, is resigning next month. Congressman Duffy posted that announcement on Facebook today. He says he wants to spend more time with his family. Congressman Duffy says he recently learned that his 9th child, which is due in October, has a heart condition and will need even more love, time, and attention. Congressman Duffy's last day will be September 23rd.
Shine Medical Technologies in Janesville announced today that former House Speaker Paul Ryan has been appointed to its board of directors. The news release said Ryan has nearly 3 decades of experience with healthcare, business, energy, and other issues that pertain to the company. Shine was founded in 2010 and manufactures radioisotopes for nuclear medicine. Those looking to travel or commute between Sun Prairie and Madison can now take a bus between the cities. Effective today, Metro's new Route 23 takes passengers on a bus trip that for the first time does not require transfer points. After a survey taken in 2018 by the Survey Research Center, 47% of people in Sun Prairie occasionally use an express bus service. City officials say the trip takes about 30 minutes one way.
After walking 140 miles along the shore of Lake Michigan, 4 St. Norbert College students reached their destination today in Milwaukee. The 4th annual 140-mile Ruck March to raise money and awareness for American veterans. Their journey started on Sunday, setting off from the Veterans Memorial outside Lambeau Field. They carried as much as 50 pounds of gear on their backs when they reached the end today at the War Memorial in downtown Milwaukee. Governor Tony Evers today spent some time in Green Bay, tweeting out these photos, saying a visit to the city is never complete without a stop at Hinterland Beer, lunch at Kroll's, and a visit with the Packers, adding he could barely recognize Aaron Rodgers without his Canadian tuxedo.
Still ahead tonight, your forecast for the work week ahead.
Plus, ahead of the start of the school year in Sun Prairie, how that city and the school district there are cracking down on bullying this year.
And then tonight on News 3 Now at 10, for the first time since Edgewood High School filed a federal lawsuit against the city, Madison's Plan Commission is meeting to discuss the high school's master plan. How this plays into the ongoing athletic field problems at the high school at 10.
School year kicks off today for Madison teachers and staff after a welcome back event that discussed the district's academic goals, including those that encourage racial equality. This year, the district set a goal to ensure all African-American children and youth, including those who are multiracial and multi-ethnic, excel in school. Speakers at the event today say it's important to encourage Black excellence in the classroom.
New to Sun Prairie Area School District this year, the District Task Force on Student Behavior and Bullying. This group was formed following back-to-back fights at the Sun Prairie School. As Gabriella Becerra reports from Sun Prairie, this task force is wasting no time in making change.
Concerns from parents and staff about the bullying happening at school has prompted this school district to take action, starting with meetings here at Sun Prairie High School to address those concerns and find solutions for those behaviors. For Rajette Kobe, this is personal.
My daughter was being bullied by a group of young ladies.
So now, as a member of the district task force on student behavior and bullying, Kobe is working with parents, staff, and community members to resolve bullying in schools.
During this process, we're going to be able to research what are the differences between some of our schools? What are some of the great things we're doing already? What are some of the things other districts are doing? And how can we put that all in place for Sun Prairie?
Not only for those getting bullied, but also the bullies.
There could be issues that we absolutely could help solve if we knew what they were. Bringing the parents to the table allows us to do that.
The city of Sun Prairie is also taking action by proposing an ordinance which would cite parents if their kid bullies another student.
What would trigger the need to go to the ordinance that might allow for a parent to receive a citation would be repeated incidents of bullying within a short period of time.
The idea is to make parents aware if their child is bullying others.
In communities where this ordinance has been enacted, Monona and Plover, for example, they've never gotten beyond the warning letter stage. Always, in every situation, informing the parent has stopped the bullying.
Kobe says she is doing this so all students will feel safe.
The district task force on student behavior and bullying will meet again on September 16th, and the ordinance is expected to be voted on September 3rd at the next Sun Prairie City Council meeting. In Sun Prairie, Gabriella Becerra, News 3 Now.
Those task force meetings are open for members of the public to attend and provide comment.
Still ahead tonight, new warning sirens are going up in Whitewater this week.
And coming up in sports, the Packers make some roster moves today as they prepare for their final preseason game this Thursday at Lambeau.
But first, the rain moves out, the sunshine will return. Meteorologist Gary Canolfi with his full forecast for the rest of the work week. Straight ahead.
Welcome back. The city of Whitewater will be adding 3 new outdoor severe weather sirens this week.
Now, the city says the sirens are designed to provide overlap coverage to the city's existing aging siren system. The city's emergency communication services says they'll be located on Coburn Hill at the corner of Florence Street and Tratt Street and on the Burr Oak Trail near Fremont Road. During the installation process, each siren will need to be tested. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolfi joining us. Of course, as you always mention, just one small component, right?
Exactly. You need to have another way of getting the warning system. Don't just depend on the warning sirens. They're designed for people who are outside, you know, when there's severe weather, not when the air conditioning is running inside and there's thunder crashing all around. Around here today, no thunder today, just a lot of clouds and some showers. You can see on visible cloud track. Very quiet around here. There was a severe weather threat farther to the south, but the cloud cover here just kept us very quiet. Not even seeing any thunderstorms around here. A few flashes of lightning from these showers out to the west of the Twin Cities, but the next batch of showers doesn't even have any lightning associated with it. So we've taken the thunderstorms out of the forecast, kind of in between weather systems. The first batch of showers that came through last night and this morning, now shifting into eastern Wisconsin. The next batch coming in from the west, but already weakening, and the bulk of the showers will probably stay to the north. As far as rainfall amounts are concerned, little or no rain, just some drizzle or very light amounts over western parts of our viewing area, less than a ½ inch over much of the viewing area, and then you get east of Watertown and Jefferson, and then you start getting amounts in the ½ inch to an inch rain, but it was a nice soaking rain last night. Live view from the WISC Skycam, pretty gray there, although the fog starting to thin out a little bit compared to an hour ago. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam also showing mostly cloudy skies. No rain right now downtown, or maybe just a little drizzle. High today only 68, that's 10 degrees below average, but the low temperature of 63 is 5 degrees above normal thanks to the humidity in the clouds. Right now the air is calm with that temperature of 68, the humidity at 93%. Visibility has been running about 2 to 3 miles here in Madison with some fog. Tropical Storm Dorian right now, top wind 60 miles per hour. This is the position from the National Hurricane Center approaching the Caribbean. As you take a look at the forecast over the next 24 hours, it should become close to hurricane force as it passes through the Caribbean and then passes just south of Puerto Rico on Wednesday with as a Category 1 hurricane, maximum sustained winds of 80 miles an hour, but gusts to 100 miles per hour. Depending on how much interaction there is as it passes over the western or the eastern portion of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, that will depend on whether or not this weakens back into a tropical storm. Still a fairly strong tropical storm as it pushes through the Bahamas, maybe approaches Florida as a Category 1 hurricane or a strong tropical storm as we head into Saturday. Around here, very quiet, just a lot of clouds, temperatures in the 60s for the most part. Farther out to the west, temperatures are in the 70s where there has been a little sunshine. Dew-point temperatures are still pretty high. That's leading some areas of fog. The air does dry out a little bit farther out to the west in the western Dakotas, and that will move in here later on. You can see the jet stream right overhead right now pushing these showers along. The winds become northwesterly behind that batch of showers, and so what will happen is some of that drier air will start working its way down to the surface with these fronts coming in from the west. So while temperatures will probably jump up into the mid-70s, just getting some sunshine tomorrow, the next batch of cool air is keeping temperatures around 70. That will be in here for Wednesday, along with some brisk winds as well. So as we look at the overnight forecast, the showers will come to an end. Some patchy fog is possible. Low temperature dropping to 62. Tomorrow, those skies should become sunny. It'll be breezy and not quite as cool. Just having the sunshine back will get our high temperature back up at 75. The showers should move on out tonight. Low temperatures will drop into the lower 60s. Sunshine for much of the day tomorrow, getting high temperatures in the mid-70s. Tomorrow night, temperatures drop back into the mid-50s. And then we're only around 60 or 70 for a high on Wednesday, thanks to brisk westerly winds. The 7 to 10 day forecast calls for temperatures to be back up on Thursday, go down on Friday, a nice Labor Day weekend, and some thunderstorms about the middle of next week.
The Badger volleyball team is hoping for a great season, and the Big Ten coaches think that may very well happen. The story's coming up in sports. Look, I can walk. The Packers have their final preseason game Thursday night at Lambeau Field against the Kansas City Chiefs. They made a couple of roster cuts today, most notably saying goodbye to Mike Tyson, not the former boxing champion, Mike Tyson, the defensive back. So at the regular season opener just over a week away in Chicago, there are plenty of questions whether the Packers' frontline players have had enough plays in preseason games to be ready when it starts for real against the Bears September 5th. Head coach Matt LaFleur says he's happy with where his team is with that.
You know, we're very intentional about charting the number of reps our guys are getting throughout practices and making sure they're getting the necessary work. So we feel good about where they are at, and you know, they'll be ready to go week 1.
Badger football season opener is Friday. They'll hop a plane to Tampa Thursday afternoon, then play at the University of South Florida, 6 o'clock Friday night. South Florida, coached by former Texas head coach Charlie Strong, who's starting his 3rd year at USF. Starting the season against a decent team like South Florida on the road will be a good test for the Badgers, who have had their share of challenging openers in the past few years.
A lot of times, if we beat a cupcake team early, we can get ahead of ourselves, and I think this will be a good test.
We're really excited. Like I can't express that enough. Like, we're excited to play, and you know, they'll come Friday.
The Badger volleyball team begins its season this week in the Big Ten ACC Challenge in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The Badgers will play Florida State Friday, North Carolina on Saturday. Today, the Big Ten announces that the conference coaches have picked Wisconsin as the preseason favorite to win the league title ahead of Nebraska. The Badgers' Dana Rettke, preseason All-Big Ten first team, while Sidney Hilly is a second-team pick. Head coach Kelly Sheffield says his veteran roster is poised for big things.
Yeah, there is some experience right now on the court, and you know, it's a lot of people, you know, that are in their junior and senior year, and a lot of players that have been playing since early in their career. I'm sure that's been a lot of fun for people to watch them progress over their first couple years, their first 2 or 3 years, and you know, I'm sure what we're hoping is to see them taking that next step.
This week's Prep Mania football game of the week features 2 of the contenders in the Big 8 Conference Football Championship race. Verona will be at Middleton. Join Bill Brophy, Alan Minard, and me for Verona and Middleton Friday night, 7 o'clock on channel3000.com. The Brewers have just started their series with the St. Louis Cardinals at Miller Park. It's in the bottom of the first, and the Cardinals are already up 2-0. And you young baseball players out there, if you're in the field, the ball comes to you, stick out your glove. You never know. Oakland, Stevens Piscotty was fighting the sun, and look at that. Lost it, but stuck his glove out, and wouldn't you know it, it fell right in there for the out. A's pitcher Chris Bassett said it was kind of cool. We got a good laugh out of it. Tell you what, if that goes about 2 feet this way and hits you on the head.
That's more comment.
Right.
He clearly lost it, just could not track it. Hey, welcome back.
Hey, thanks.
Moving good? You had,
I feel good.
his reference to his movement as he had,
Yeah.
had a little surgical.
But I'm not lifting anything for at least 12 months. That's what my doctor said.
That's good.
Really?
Makes
I wish I could get out of things like
I
that.
can't remember, 6 weeks, 12 months, what it was.
We'll see how that goes.
Milk that around the house as much as possible.
Milk it around here.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome back.
Final check of the forecast, Gary.
You know, got some showers out there. Nothing imminent right now from much of us. Some showers may be approaching the Mississippi River in the next couple of hours. But the bulk of those look like they're going to go into central and northern Wisconsin. Temperatures right now, upper 60s and low 70s, but the dew point temperatures are high and the winds are fairly light. We've got low pressure right over us, so you see a lot of places reporting the air being calm, and that's leading to some areas of fog, but it's patchy. It's not everybody's seeing it, and look for temperatures to be very nice for the upcoming holiday weekend. Good timing for it.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.